The 120 Days of Sodom by Marquis de Sade, written in 1785 and published in 1904, stands as perhaps the most extreme work in literary history, making it too dangerous to read for most audiences. The book depicts four wealthy French libertines who lock themselves in a remote castle with accomplices and victims to carry out 120 days of escalating sexual violence, torture, and murder. Sade describes in meticulous detail every form of sexual depravity, sadism, and cruelty imaginable, including acts involving children, torture, necrophilia, and cannibalism. The systematic nature of the violence, presented as entertainment for the wealthy perpetrators, creates a work so disturbing it defies summary. This book was deemed too dangerous to read and faced immediate bans in France, the United States, United Kingdom, and Australia that lasted until the 1960s. As recently as 2013, South Korea banned the book for triggering violent excitement before lifting the ban 1 month later after reviewing its literary value. The book remains suppressed in several countries today due to its extreme content. Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, published in 1985, depicts the extreme violence of 19th century American frontier life through the story of a teenage runaway who joins a gang of scalp hunters led by the mysterious and terrifying Judge Holden. This book is considered too dangerous to read due to McCarthy's unflinching portrayal of human brutality, featuring graphic scenes of scalping, rape, infanticide, and mass murder presented without moral commentary or redemption. The gang systematically slaughters Native Americans, Mexicans, and anyone they encounter, while Judge Holden philosophizes about violence as the ultimate expression of human will. McCarthy's sparse, biblical prose style makes the extreme violence feel both inevitable and meaningless, creating a nihilistic vision of humanity that many find too dangerous to read. While not formally banned, the book has been challenged in multiple school districts due to its graphic violence and disturbing themes. Several educational institutions have deemed it too dangerous to read for younger audiences due to its relentless brutality and philosophical justification of violence. The book's suggestion that violence is humanity's true nature and that civilization is merely a temporary facade makes it too dangerous to read for those seeking hope or meaning in literature. Tender is the Flesh, by Agustina Bazterrica, published in 2017, presents a world where a virus has made all animal meat deadly to consume, forcing humanity to turn to cannibalism for protein, making it too dangerous to read due to its systematic normalization of human consumption. The book follows Marquis, who works at a processing plant where humans are raised, slaughtered, and packaged like livestock in a society that has completely accepted this practice. Bazterrica depicts graphic scenes of human butchery, breeding programs, and meat processing, while exploring how quickly societies can adapt to previously unthinkable practices when survival is at stake. The book presents cannibalism not as aberrant behavior, but as regulated industry, making it too dangerous to read for its disturbing implications about human adaptability and moral flexibility. While not formally banned, several retailers have restricted the book's availability due to its extreme content and graphic descriptions of human slaughter. The book has been deemed too dangerous to read by some critics, who argue it provides detailed descriptions of human processing that could be genuinely disturbing to sensitive readers. The horror lies in Bazterrica's suggestion that humans can rationalize any atrocity when it becomes economically necessary and socially accepted. Lolita, by Vladimir Nabokov, published in 1955, presents the confession of Humbert, a middle-aged man obsessed with 12-year-old Dolores Hayes, whom he calls Lolita. This book was considered too dangerous to read due to its first-person narration from a pedophile who manipulates his way into becoming Dolores's stepfather, then sexually abuses her while presenting his actions as a love story. Nabokov's elegant prose creates a disturbing contrast with the horrific subject matter, as Humbert attempts to seduce readers into sympathizing with his perspective. The book faced bans in France for 2 years, England for 4 years, and was prohibited in Argentina, New Zealand, and South Africa for obscenity. Even in the United States, publishers initially refused to print it, considering it too dangerous to read due to its explicit depiction of child sexual abuse disguised as romantic obsession. The horror lies in Nabokov's demonstration of how manipulative language can be used to normalize predatory behavior and reframe abuse as affection. The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie, published in 1988, became too dangerous to read due to its fictional reimagining of Islamic history that many Muslims found deeply offensive. The book includes dream sequences featuring a character resembling the Prophet Muhammad who adds verses to the Quran acknowledging pagan goddesses, later claiming these verses came from the devil. Rushdie's magical realist exploration of faith, doubt, and cultural identity sparked immediate global outrage. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini, issued a fatwa calling for Rushdie's execution, making the book literally too dangerous to read in many parts of the world. The book was banned in at least 20 countries, including India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sudan, and South Africa. Bookstores were firebombed, translators were attacked and killed, and Rushdie himself lived in hiding under police protection for years. In 2022, Rushdie survived a stabbing attack in New York, proving the book remains too dangerous to read for its author decades after publication. American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, published in 1991, follows Patrick Bateman, a wealthy Manhattan investment banker who moonlights as a serial killer, making it too dangerous to read due to its graphic depictions of torture, sexual violence, and cannibalism. The book presents Bateman's murders with clinical detail while he discusses designer brands and consumer products, creating a disturbing commentary on 1980s materialism. Ellis describes scenes of prolonged torture involving power tools, sexual mutilation, and cannibalism that several countries deemed too dangerous to read for public consumption. The book faced widespread bans throughout the 1990s, with feminist groups condemning its graphic violence against women. Several countries, including Australia, initially banned its publication entirely, while major bookstore chains in the United States refused to stock it, considering it too dangerous to read due to its extreme content. The book was also banned in Germany for several years and faced restrictions in Canada and New Zealand. Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs, published in 1959, presents a chaotic narrative following drug addict William Lee through surreal scenarios involving grotesque medical experiments and sexual violence, making it too dangerous to read in multiple jurisdictions. The book features disturbing imagery of bodily decay, unethical medical practices, and graphic, intimate acts presented through hallucinogenic prose that defies conventional narrative structure. Burroughs created scenes so disturbing and abstract that authorities considered the work too dangerous to read for its potential to corrupt public morals. The book was banned in Boston, Los Angeles, Australia, and Canada due to its explicit content and profane tone. In the United States, Burroughs faced multiple obscenity trials as prosecutors argued the work was too dangerous to read without artistic merit. Australia banned it for its portrayals of homosexuality and drug use, while Canadian authorities deemed it too dangerous to read due to its graphic sexual content and promotion of illegal substances. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, published in 1932, depicts a dystopian future where humans are mass-produced and controlled through drugs and conditioning, making it too dangerous to read for its subversive political themes. The book presents a world where traditional family structures, religion, and individual freedom have been eliminated in favor of state control and artificial happiness through soma, a mood-altering drug. Huxley's critique of technology, consumerism, and government control was considered too dangerous to read by authorities who feared its influence on public opinion. The book was banned in Ireland in 1932 for its explicit themes and rejection of religion and family values. Australia banned it from 1932 to 1937, while India banned it in 1967, claiming Huxley was promoting inappropriate adult themes. In the United States, the book has faced constant challenges over the years for its language, nudity, and themes that some considered too dangerous to read in schools. 1984, by George Orwell, published in 1949, presents a totalitarian society where Big Brother controls every aspect of human life through surveillance, propaganda, and thought manipulation, making it too dangerous to read for authoritarian governments. The book follows Winston Smith as he lives under constant observation, works rewriting history for the Ministry of Truth, and eventually rebels against the system only to be completely broken through torture. Orwell's depiction of government surveillance, historical revisionism, and psychological control was considered too dangerous to read by multiple communist nations who recognized it as criticism of their political systems. The Soviet Union banned the book in 1950 because Stalin identified it as an attack on his regime. The book was also banned in Vietnam for its political content and remains prohibited in some authoritarian states today. China has restricted access to the book during various periods, considering Orwell's warnings about government control too dangerous to read for citizens living under similar surveillance systems. The Anarchist Cookbook by William Powell, published in 1971, provides detailed instructions for making explosives, dangerous gases, and improvised weapons, making it too dangerous to read due to its potential for enabling terrorist activities. The book includes step-by-step guides for creating bombs, conducting surveillance, and carrying out acts of sabotage, written in a tone promoting violence as resistance against authority. Powell created the manual as a reaction to political unrest, but many of the instructions are poorly researched and dangerously flawed, making it too dangerous to read even for those with technical knowledge. The book has been linked to numerous terrorist attacks, including bombings by Puerto Rican separatists, abortion clinic attacks, and the 2005 London transit bombings. Australia and Canada have banned the book entirely, while the United Kingdom considers possession of the book criminal due to its usefulness for terrorism. In the United States, while legal to own, the book may be seized if connected to suspected criminal activity, and authorities consider it too dangerous to read without proper context and supervision. Animal Farm by George Orwell, published in 1945, tells the story of farm animals who overthrow their human owner only to find themselves under a new form of oppression, making it too dangerous to read for its pointed criticism of political systems. The book presents the pigs' gradual transformation into the same type of oppressors they originally fought against, with the famous line, "All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others," serving as a direct critique of revolutionary hypocrisy. Communist governments considered Orwell's allegory too dangerous to read because it exposed the failures of socialist leadership and the corruption of revolutionary ideals. The Soviet Union banned the book immediately upon publication, along with other communist nations like Czechoslovakia in 1948 and Vietnam for promoting false socialist ideology. Cuba continues to ban the book today, while the United Arab Emirates removed it from schools in 2002 due to Islamic sensitivities about the portrayal of pigs and alcohol. Even in Western countries, the book was temporarily considered too dangerous to read during World War II, when Britain didn't want to upset their Soviet allies. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, by Lewis Carroll, published in 1865, faced bans despite being a children's story, due to concerns about its surreal content and perceived hidden meanings, making it too dangerous to read in certain contexts. The book follows Alice as she falls down a rabbit hole and encounters strange creatures including a caterpillar who smokes a hookah and gives her size-changing mushrooms. In the United States during the 1960s, some schools banned the book for supposedly promoting drug culture and disrespecting authority figures, considering Carroll's fantasy world too dangerous to read during the counterculture movement. China banned it in Hunan province in 1931 because officials believed giving animals human characteristics was insulting and potentially confusing for children, making the book too dangerous to read for its supposed undermining of natural hierarchies. The Soviet Union also banned it for perceived political subversion, viewing Alice's absurd adventures and questioning of authority as too dangerous to read in a controlled society. If you want to explore more literature that pushes boundaries and challenges readers, be sure to watch the video, The Darkest Books with the Creepiest Endings Explained, for books that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about human nature.